Welcome back to Cam's Classics. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We've got to change the oil in our air compressor. So they've been running for a while without us changing the oil, so we need to do that just to keep them running longer. And so we're ready to do that. This one has a drain, so we'll go ahead and get it out. So these should be done occasionally, and we haven't done it for a while. So we need to get it done. That might have been part of the reason. Well, actually this one, we blew the airline out of it. So this tank is just an extra tank. But these, has the sight glass, and you can kind of see the oil needs changed. It's due. So these use, let me pop this. This is the fill tube. To build a little air behind the oil. So we're draining the oil. It's going to take a minute. We'll come back to you and show what we're going to put in it. Okay, so while the oil's still draining, we're just about down to the bottom of the sight glass, and then it just has that a little bit. We're going to go ahead and take off our air filter here. And we'll go ahead and take it up here, and we'll see if we can get it clean. We do have a parts washer. There are a couple of little screws in this could have just pulled them, but we'll take it off and clean the housing as well. And you can see there's a little build-up on it, so we'll clean the housing and clean the filter. Try and keep these running as long as we can. They're expensive, so the longer we can get out of them, the better. So we try and maintain them as much as we can. And that's our filter element. We'll go ahead and clean our housing here. See, it's been a little while since we did the housing. Let that run on that minute. So what we're using, parts washer Harbor Freight, and then we're using their heavy duty degreaser. This makes 200 gallons. We went with a little bit more, so we put in about 1.25 gallons in this 20 gallons tank, because we wanted it to be super, we're throwing in greasy parts, so we wanted it to really be a little more potent than what they had for 200 to 1. that part of the housing's pretty clean. We'll take and we'll throw these outside for a little bit. Let them, you know, air dry good before we put it all back together. Once we put the oil back in the compressors, we can also turn those back on and shoot these with some air. And you can see pretty good amount of dirt coming out of this. It was due to be cleaned, and we've been using it a lot more with spray and paint and stuff, so we needed to get this done. You need to have good clean air going in, good clean air coming out. So we're pretty much down to just the fluid coming out of it. So we'll go ahead and take this all out and set it outside and let it air dry out. We got this one. So we are doing both of our compressors as we're doing it. We're just showing you our bigger one. That's the filter for the smaller one. As you can see, we're ready to put the oil back in it. We've got the drain plug back in. Filter for it goes up here. We'll let it dry and put that in. We'll let that one finish draining and then we'll show you that one. Okay, so we did put the housing part back on, ready to put the filter back on. We're still draining on the oil a little bit. We'll let it continue until it's drained. We'll grab that in a minute. Screws holding us out. Anyway. So got that. Let me explain our setup a little bit. So this one's a 80-gallon tank, I believe. And it is two-stage, which means it pumps air into one cylinder, compresses it. That air moves into the next cylinder, it compresses it again. These are your long-term air, I guess you would say. This one is a single, it's just a 60-gallon tank. The hose that runs it was aluminum. It blew out. We couldn't find one, we couldn't build one, and so we bought the new one, which is also a single stage 60-gallon tank, which means the air comes in, compresses once, and these are your kind of your quick recovery tanks. So this keeps the air flowing. That kind of creates a lot of air, but that can't really keep up with, you know, sanders and stuff that are constantly running. So you have to do kind of the combination of the two. These won't build enough air to keep the pressure up. They just don't put out enough CFMs. So we have that set up. Yes, it's got a PVC pipe, which, yes, not the best, but it works. We've had no issues with it. And then we have a air separator mechanism here. So it's three-stage. First stage is an automatic, so once it gets so full, this little black thing will pop up, drain the air out. And this one's a manual drain, and this one's like a desiccant packet that'll these two do the bulk of the work of getting the air out of it, and then this one kind of gets the final air out of it. And then from there we run off through our shop, over into our cabinet shop, and here in the automotive shop. So we're still draining. We want to get that out as much as we can. I will show you this, and it is kind of loud. So we do have a quick drain on these. So daily we'll pop that open, let the air come out, or the water come out. The water sits in the bottom of these. That'll destroy your tank faster than anything. Having water sit down there, it'll just rust and eventually rust through the bottom of your tank. So you want to drain the water in these all the time. So we made that easy. So it's just, you know, pop that valve, blow it till it comes out pure air, close the valve, and it's ready to go. We'll do that to these other two tanks. They're not as easy. We didn't put one of those on. So these ones, you kind of have to climb up underneath them to get to them. We'll drain the air out of both these tanks. This one shouldn't get a lot of water in it, just because it's not, most of your water comes from condensation as it's pumping air, and this one doesn't pump air. It's just basically a 60-gallon storage tank. So we'll let that continue to drain. We're going to go ahead and get the water out of these two, because that'll ruin your paint faster than anything, is, you know, having that water flowing through there and mixing in with your paint in the air as it coming through your gun. So that's the big reason we're doing this, as well as these, just, it was time to maintain them. So we'll come back in a minute once this is finished draining. It holds a lot of oil, so we'll see you in a minute. So we're down to just a very slight drain leak, so we'll go ahead and plug this one off. See, quite a bit of oil, and it's done. So good thing we're changing it. Okay, so what we're going to be filling this with is Husky Tools, full synthetic. This one's fairly easy to fill because there's a sight glass. just gonna fill it to the top of that red dot. Just right there. Nice, clear, clean oil. Our filter it, funnel out. So we did decide, put this here. So after we run it, we might have to put just a little bit more in. As it sloshes around and stuff, gets into all the places, we may have to put a little more in. So I'll just put that there for now. We did decide we are going to build a water drain on that tank. So can't fire these up right now, but we'll get that built and these are ready to go. So yeah, we got oil change, the air filters, we're ready to go. These are ready to run. Thanks for watching, like, share, and subscribe.